Hello, everyone, and welcome to an episode of Have You Read It? In this episode, we will be covering r/AITA. Am I the asshole for not waking up my girlfriend for her exam after I overheard her calling me a little bitch? My girlfriend has online summer courses and had an exam for one of them this morning. I usually wake her up for pretty much everything because she sleeps through her phone alarm no matter how long it buzzes or how many she sets. She joked that I'm her butler before, and within the context of a relationship, it's okay, so I didn't mind. Obviously, I want to love my partner and try to make her life easy. However, last night, she was chatting with her friend and she thought I couldn't hear. She was bragging that I'm her little bitch and I do everything for her when she tells me to, etc. It really hurt my feelings because they were making comments like, "Good, put him in his place," and she was agreeing. She specifically said, "Yeah, I'm not too worried about tomorrow because the little bitch will make sure I'm up and I'll probably make breakfast ready for me too." I went to bed pretty hurt by it, and come morning, I didn't bother to wake her up, and her alarm started to go. She usually only gets up when someone physically shakes her, but I let her turn off the alarm, and she slept back into sleep, and I turned around and went back to sleep too. When she woke up, she was yelling at me and saying I'm an asshole and I've cost her her exam, and I'm a piece of shit for what I did. In the next AITA, am I the asshole for telling my wife it's not cute for her to encourage our teenage daughter to expect her boyfriend to pay for everything in their relationship? Wife and I had been married for 18 years. We have our 16-year-old daughter who has been dating a slightly awkward and shy young man for about 3 to 4 months now. He seems very nervous around my daughter and has admitted in a passing comment here and there to my wife, and that he can't believe she agreed to date him, and he thinks she's way too out of his league. He seems very respectful, just shy. My wife is usually an independent, awesome woman, and her ideals align closely with mine, particularly in the terms of feminism and equality. We have both striven to raise our daughter to be as independent and capable as possible. Since my daughter has been dating this kid, my wife has changed considerably and has given our daughter advice that has left me with raised brows once more. Some of the advice I've heard my wife give is, "Oh, it's cute for boys to pay for everything, especially in your first relationship." Or, "Oh, honey, don't worry about that. He can pay for you. If he really liked you, he would." And similar. Two people in a partnership should be contributing equally. And my personal favorite, if someone asks if they can take you out to dinner, it's reasonable to expect them to pay. But if someone asks you to grab the dinner with them, it's reasonably to split the payment. I figured that would be an easy way for a young person to understand the difference. However, I noticed my daughter becoming more and more entitled with their boyfriend's money. They haven't been anywhere, obviously, since we're home, but the way she talks about him, "Oh, I asked him to pay for X," etc., leaves a bad taste in my mouth. She has also flippantly mentioned that she gets him to buy gift cards for her by mentioning her mother's advice. Quote, "If you really like me, you'd pay for X." I spoke to my wife privately and told her my concerns. She insists it's a rite of passage for girls and it's cute that she should feel a guy is not completely spoiling her. I told her it's not cute for her to be thinking it's acceptable to view relationships as personal ATM. And my wife has become very angry with me and now is calling me an asshole with a lot of hostility. In the next AITA, am I the asshole for suing my girlfriend after she had my 1967 Impala project taken to the scrapyard? I'll keep this short. I had a 1967 Impala 4-door that I bought on February 2019. A couple months ago, I bought my first house and had a 2.5 car garage. I moved the car in and started tearing it down for a complete restoration. I had the body in one bay and the chassis in another, plus the whole garage filled with parts. About 2 months ago, my girlfriend came to live with me during this whole crisis, and the whole time has hated that car. She wants to park in the garage, but I have 2 acres of land with a lot of nice places to park under shady trees, or hell, even in the barn if it has to be inside. I tell her tough luck, it's my house, and it's not like I can just throw it back together real quick. Anyways, I was out of town for a couple of days on a business trip for a small local company I work for. When I got back, my girlfriend was all smiles, making me food all the time, doing all the chores, all that. I thought maybe she was just happy to have me home, but then I realized that I didn't see her car in its usual spot. I asked her where she parked so I could make sure I mowed that area and keep it clean, and she said not to worry because she parked it in the garage. I asked how, and she told me to go check it out. Turns out that while I was gone, she hired some people to come over and move everything related to that car, including the drivetrain, body, and chassis and all the parts, and take it to the local dump/scrapyard. I was absolutely dumbfounded. I had spent over $11,000 on the car, including new parts, services, and the car itself. I told her that I was going to be taking her to court for that, and she brushed me off like I was being dramatic. I told her that it's done between us and to pack her things and leave. I admit I was really angry, but I did end up getting a lawyer, and as I have all the receipts for all the money spent, and I have her on my house's security cam footage letting the guys in and watching them take it all in, I think I can win. Her family and friends are absolutely blowing me up, saying it's a stupid piece of old junk and that she cannot pay back all the money I spent and I should just let it go. But I have been putting all my time, effort, and money into the car for a year and a half now. And god damn it if I am not going to get justice for what she did. Am I the asshole? In the next AITA, am I the asshole for completely cutting off my brother? Obligatory apologies for formatting. I'm on mobile. I know my brother browses Reddit, but frankly, I am past caring at this point. He's also spread a lot of lies and misinformation online, so there's that. So a little bit of background info. My brother, 18 male, is autistic, and it took my parents ages to get a diagnosis. These events happened 2 to 3 years ago, but I, 16 female, only recently cut him off completely. I'll start in the beginning. So my brother always wanted his own way. He would do anything for it. He'd steal my stuff and claim he didn't. He'd be truly nasty to me and scream and break things until he got what he wanted. He usually got it, despite my parents trying to be fair to the both of us. The reason why he got his own way was because whenever he didn't, he threw an absolute screaming patty and smashed up his room. He would repeatedly hit his walls with metal poles, wooden tables, legs, and a chair, anything he could get his hands on. Several events happened, none of which I will mention in detail, but suffice to say it ended up in the police being called and my parents signing him into foster care in fear of mostly my safety. We had some contact within the next 2 to 3 years, but I didn't really want any, mostly due to the fact I did not feel safe. This is where we fast forward about a month ago or so. He turned 18 and immediately bought a bottle of whiskey. He finished it in less than 2 days. Then he bought another bottle and another. It seemed to me that he was developing a problem with alcohol. But when I brought it up with him over FaceTime because of lockdown, he brushed it off completely and changed the subject. He said, quote, "I'm 18 now, I can do whatever I want," and all that jazz, which I completely understand. It's his life after all. But then when we were playing, he refused to listen to me. He kept talking over me again, and eventually I got to breaking point and told him to shut up and listen for the love of God, quote. He ended the call and blocked my number. He is where I think I'm the asshole. I blocked him on social media and sent him a message saying, quote, "Don't expect any further contact," end quote. It wasn't because of this situation. It was honestly a buildup of emotional trauma. There's a lot that went on that I can't mention in the sub that generally traumatized me. This whole tiny petty situation with games was just the straw that broke the camel's back, to be honest. My parents say that I'm not the asshole for cutting him off. They know he's toxic, but they're telling me to carefully consider my actions because in future he might need or want a family. In my personal opinion, however, he's made his bed and he can damn well lie in it. But maybe that's just because I'm immature. I've been dealing with this for so long, I don't even know what to think of it. So, who do you think is the asshole? Let us know in the comments below. If you enjoyed that video, please smash the like button, like, comment, and subscribe. Let us know what you want to see next in the comments below. Thanks.